In this training, I'm going to talk to you about how to connect with women naturally and effortlessly. This is something that I call the high value dating framework, and it's what separates guys that are below average with women. We'll put that in a nice way. Guys that are below average with women from guys that are above average, guys that create the kind of dating lives they want, men who attract women on their terms. And this is specifically for you if there are women in your life that are coming and going. There's girls you're texting, women that you're connecting with at parties, at social events, things like that are attractive, beautiful women that you're really into, but something seems to not be clicking. It is just like you're putting in too much effort, and it's not just easy to meet women. So if you would like to go from it being full of effort and being complicated to meet these women to it becoming effortless, where you are a high value man and women are like, I would rather spend time with this man instead of not spend time with him, then this training that I'm going to share with you is for you. Let's go ahead and jump into the training. Let's get into it. So there's three things that we're going to go over today, three things we're going to focus on. Number one is why most men accidentally waste time when meeting women. This is a thing that happens a lot. I'm going to explain to you why, and most likely you're doing this and you don't even know it. Wasting time when meeting women is, I think, one of the biggest plagues that affects men today, where we spend so much time invested in meeting the girl, but very little time do we have actually building a great dating life and building amazing dating results, building a great social circle, building our own value. We spend more time on the acquisition, if that makes sense, instead of the actual enjoyment and the connection. But we want to change that. And in this session, I'm going to explain to you how you're probably wasting time in the way you're meeting women and how you can do it better without wasting time. Number two, I'm going to explain to you how to be the buyer and how to not be the seller, which is really powerful, and how you can stop always selling yourself to women, but instead have them want to invest in you naturally. And then number three, we're going to talk about the only mindset that really matters when it comes to attraction and lifestyle success. This is important because there's one key mindset that you should develop as a man that's going to help you attract women on your terms. It's going to help you build your dream lifestyle, your dream dating results, connect with amazing women, and have either multiple girls you're seeing or eventually get a badass, really cool girlfriend that you have amazing, crazy sex with who's just totally in love with you. So we're going to go into that in this training. This training is going to be very efficient. It's going to be very simple. We're not going to go into any complicated bullshit. I'm going to make it as clear as possible. This hopefully will be the best training you ever find on YouTube about how to attract women naturally. You know, living your dating life as a natural guy, meeting women just by being yourself and connecting with women on your terms. So I want you to understand something. What we have here is something called the 4 stages of competence. Now, the 4 stages of competence basically is, you've probably heard of it before. You go from like unconscious incompetence to conscious competence. But the 4 stages of competence are a breakdown from beginning to end of the dating journey. And I've gone through these stages myself, and I'll explain what it looked like, what it felt like for me. But as you go through meeting women, as you work on yourself as a man, whatever your age is, whatever you do for work, you know, whatever your skill is with women right now, however your dating life is, you do have to go through these stages. Some people end at stage number 2, which is not ideal. Most of the guys I work with are at stage number 2. I think right now all of my clients are at stage number 2. There's number 3 as well. But stage 3 and 2 is where many men are at. Stage number 1 is where you're in a good place, and anything beyond that is just getting better and better. So at the bottom, you have stage 4, which is unconscious incompetence, right? You have no idea what you're doing. You're operating in the unconscious, so you're blind, and you also don't have any structure. You don't have any understanding of what actually works. So at this level, you have no results or opportunities. This was me when I started in my dating journey. Like literally, I was completely blind, and I would go out and try to meet girls, not even like going out to pick up girls. It was just, I was in university, and I would try to meet girls there and set up some dates and things, and it would never work. I had girls bring their friends when we would go to hang out because they didn't want it to be a date. It was just really bad. I was an unattractive individual, and women knew that. It was very obvious, and that was where I was at. Then the next level is conscious incompetence. So this was where I was aware that I wasn't actually good with women, but I was aware that I needed to take action to get better. So I started approaching girls. I started trying different things. I learned from a few mentors, and I still wasn't getting good results, but it went from nothing to just being inconsistent, where there were some times where I'd get go on a date with a girl. Sometimes I'd get a hookup here and there, but it was very inconsistent. Then level 2, when you rise more, is unconscious competence, which is you get lucky or you have certain situations or opportunities that come into your life and then go. So it's where you don't necessarily have full control, but you do realize that you can create what you want. You become competent. So you start to have a process, you start to have a system of sorts, but you just don't understand how that system actually works properly, but you still do it. You do it and you move forward and you get some certain results, you get inconsistent results. And then you have conscious competence, which is where you understand what you're doing and you understand how to do it as well, and you have consistent, fulfilling dating experiences. And this is what the journey looks like. Before we go into this training and really go deep, and trust me, we're gonna go fucking deep here. Who am I? Just in case you've never watched my stuff before and you don't know who the fuck I am. So I'm the founder of Lifestyle Mastery Consulting, which is a consulting program for men that teaches you how to create systems and frameworks to master your dating life and your lifestyle behaviors and lifestyle habits. I've coached over 200 clients across 14 different cities. That was a pretty badass experience. I've dated high quality women across multiple countries, probably an unhealthy number of women. And I've had all kinds of crazy dating experiences, and I've recorded over 100 hours, this is also pretty unhealthy, of dating footage and social training, because I'm an all-around nerd and I'm obsessed with understanding social skills, communication skills, and leadership, and applying that to being good with women. So that's who I am, and that's why I'm talking about this shit. And one more thing I'll say is that if this means anything to you during this training, and if you're like, fuck, I should be paying for this value because it's so good, but hey, I'm getting it for fucking free and I would love more of it, press the subscribe button, because the subscribe button allows you to get notified, and the little bell allows you to get notified when I upload more information. And when you subscribe, my channel gets a boost and more men see this information, and I can help more guys who are going to change their lives using this kind of teaching. Okay, so hit the subscribe button at any point if you feel like I've earned it, and if you feel like you're getting value from this. It would literally mean the world to me if you just press subscribe and you were like, fuck, this guy Tim, I'm gonna learn a little bit more from him. Okay, I appreciate you for being here and listening to my shit. Okay, let's do this. So where do most guys go wrong? Most guys go wrong in 3 specific areas, and I've worked with a lot of clients and I've seen this over and over and over again. Most guys go wrong in 3 different ways. Number 1 is either they're not assertive enough, or they're misreading signals, which is number 2, or they're over-investing. So the first one that I see, which is most common, is they're not assertive enough. This means that they're always waiting for the right moment to move the needle forward, right? So there's a girl that's into them, and it should work out, and the girl's like attracted to them, but they're always waiting for this right moment to come because they're waiting for her to be really into them. Or this could be you. You're waiting for the girl to be really into you. You're waiting for her to really invest. And what happens? You never get the result because you're always in that space of waiting. So that's one. Another example of not being assertive enough is speaking through maybe or questioning statements. So let's say you want to take a girl and lead her over to the bar while you're inside of a nightclub. The girl likes you, you're socializing with her, she's into you, you're like, hey, let's go over to the bar. And instead of you saying, hey, I'm going to go here, come with me, you frame it more like, when I want to head to the bar, and then you get a no, and you wonder, why is this happening? But it's because you're not being assertive enough, because you're speaking through a maybe or a question instead of it is happening and this is what the plan is. Number 3 is second guessing and hesitating as a primary thought process. A lot of men make this mistake as well, where the way they interact with women is, I'm second guessing myself and I'm not sure if what I want to do is the right thing. So there could be a woman who's into you, or it could be an opportunity to create an amazing dating experience, but because you hesitated, because you frame things as, I don't know if this is the right decision, women don't follow you, women don't pursue you. It feels like it's tough to impact women. And then number 2, another big problem I see is men misreading signals. So there's women that are attracted to you, but instead of you saying, I know this woman's into me, you assume the worst option instead of attraction. One thing that's interesting about the way I date, and when I work with clients and guys join our program, one thing they see from me is I'm so clear in the idea that I believe every woman's attracted to me. When I go out just to the fucking gym, I'm like, that girl likes me. This girl likes me. This girl smiled at me. She wants me. Part of it's being delusional, right? But I assume attraction is my default. I don't assume that attraction is something that I have to work towards. It's not like I assume that she's not attracted to me instead of being attracted to me. Number 2 is looking for the wrong signs of interest. And that's a really big mistake a lot of men make. They look for the wrong signs. So there's a girl that's into them maybe, but because they look for the wrong signs of interest, they completely miss things. So they may look for a girl who's really open for being physical, but the girl just doesn't demonstrate her attraction that way. So you tell yourself, oh, she may not be into me, because you're looking for the wrong signs of interest. And another problem with misreading signals is not knowing when to lead or to go to the next step. That's another big one, right? So a lot of guys make this mistake where there's attraction. They could create something in the interaction, but because they second guess and they don't know when to lead, they just lose it. They lose it because they don't have a framework they're working with, they don't have a system they're working with, and they're not in a specific process. Like, this is how you go from interest and attraction to creating intimacy. It requires a process to do that. Number 3, the third thing I've noticed where most guys go wrong is what we call over-investing. You could also call this neediness to an extent. It's where you're not treating dating like networking, but you're overcommitting. This is a big one where a lot of guys make the mistake and they're not necessarily networking, but they treat it like it's a very big obligation. So they'll meet one girl who's very attracted to them and they'll overinvest in that a lot and kind of put all their eggs in one basket. And then what happens? They're left with nothing after a few months. And then they come and work with me and then I get them in shape. But this thing happens with a lot of men where they overinvest. Another example of overinvesting is changing your natural personality for approval and acceptance. So there's a version of you that's the realest version of you. I worked with this client a couple years back and he ran an ice cream business, an ice cream delivery business. And he was really passionate about fucking ice cream. I've never heard a client or a person talk about ice cream in this way. This man had passion, but whenever a girl would ask him what he would do, he would shy away from it and play it off and be like, oh, I'm running a few businesses. And he wasn't getting results with women. And one of the first exercises I gave him, I said, talk about you running an ice cream business because you're clearly passionate about it. You clearly love it. So speak about it clearly and openly and don't shy behind the wall of like, I don't know who I am as a person, or I'm not comfortable with who I am as a person. Just express it. He started doing that. Women started investing in him. Women started liking him. Women started engaging him and chasing him, right? Because he was comfortable expressing who he was as a person. So when you change your natural personality for approval and acceptance, the natural default is you overinvest in a woman because you want attraction from her. Another example of overinvesting is not leaving space and not relaxing in an interaction. And this is kind of an obvious one. But if you're not relaxed and if you don't leave space for the woman to come to you, you're always going to be overinvesting and your interactions won't turn out the way you want them to in a way that serves you and helps you build something amazing with her. Now, there's something that we call the 3 codes of connection, okay? And I want you to remember this, please. If you're taking notes, this is what you should write down. Or if you're not taking notes, just see the presentation. So there's 3 codes of connection that you need to pay attention to because this is how you date as a high-value guy. This is what it looks like. Code number 1 is tension, okay? And I'm going to explain each of these to you in this training. There needs to be tension present for an interaction to thrive. There has to be. In order for there to be tension, there needs to be a couple of different factors, which I'm going to explain. But women look for tension as a measure of interest. So I've seen, guys, this is crazy. I've seen girls literally leave guys in a relationship or in a dating journey. They've left a guy because there was no tension in the interaction, because there was no feeling of this is what's going to happen next. I feel tension, especially early on. When you get into a longer relationship, that doesn't need to be the main driving factor. It should be there sometimes, but especially in the beginning of a relationship, if a relationship is just happening because of practicality and because it's a good vibe, oh man, that's fucked up, right? So women look for tension as a measure of interest, and that's important. She looks for tension. She's like, do I feel like something's going to give? Do I feel like something could go wrong if I make the wrong decision with this guy? I need to win him. I need to earn him. I have to deserve this guy, right? You want her to feel that. That's creating tension. Number 2 is a challenge. Do you want to be the buyer and no longer the seller? Are you tired of fucking selling yourself to women? If you are, start to challenge her beliefs, her behaviors, and her mindset. That's really important. This is the high value code of connection. Number 3 is space. So her investment will only happen when you give her space to pursue you and earn your attention. Women will only invest in you when you give them space to do so. If there's no space for her to invest in you, it isn't going to happen. Trust me on that. Now, I want to explain to you tension, because tension's really important. It's a thing that a lot of men miss in their dating interactions. They interact with girls in a way where they're coming across as confident, they've got a good vibe, it's really cool, and I deal with clients like this all the time. We take them through this journey in around 90 days where we transform their identity and how they interact with women from a subconscious place, like their subconscious wiring and how they see women changes, and part of that journey is helping them create tension better with women so that there's always this breaking point when they're talking to women. Women feel like, I have to make the right decision. So social honesty and direct communication is number 1. This is really powerful. There's a recipe to creating tension. On the left side, you have social honesty and direct communication. On the right side, you have a slow pace and deep realization. In the middle, you have tension. So what does this mean? Number 1, on the left, is if you're honest with women and you communicate directly, they're going to logically understand this man is into me. Okay? Tension comes. Remember this statement, please. Tension happens when a woman feels like there's something that could go wrong in the interaction if she doesn't respond right. Something going wrong doesn't mean something drastic, but it means like she could lose you, right? This only works, of course, if you're attractive. It's very hard to create tension if you are an unattractive person. So that's why the number 1 thing you need to do is create become attractive and work on your perceived value, your perceived status, which I talked about in an earlier video, which was my ultimate guide to dating. Check that out if you haven't already. All right. So social honesty and direct communication is number one. When you communicate through social honesty, an example of this is, and I'm going to give you some examples in a second, but an example of this is telling a girl, hey, I like you. You're fucking cool. You're cute as fuck and you're my type. All right, that's an example of social honesty and direct communication. She feels, okay, there's a way I have to respond to this that is a right way and a wrong way. If I respond the wrong way, like let's say I'm difficult, like, oh, okay, cool. Well, there's not going to be a lot of tension because I'll just walk away. I will walk away, right? But she has to flirt back. She has to respond in a way that where she feels there's a right response and a wrong response. You don't want girls to be interacting with you where they feel like it doesn't matter what they say and it's just, oh, thank you, okay, have a nice day. There's no tension there. Tension is, oh my God, what the fuck? This guy's different. Okay. And on the other side, we have what we call a slow pace and deep relaxation. This is the emotional component. So when there's an emotional component and she can feel that you are grounded, she can feel that you're relaxed. Deep relaxation is massively important. It's something I actually teach like in depth to clients. Learning how to relax so much that nothing phases you when you communicate with women is one of the most powerful skills you can have as a man. So slow pace and deep relaxation, that's the emotional component. So what she feels from you is that you're not phased, and what she gets from you logically and hears verbally is I am into you, I'm attracted to you, here's the social situation, here's what's going on. When you combine those two things, you create tension because she has to make a decision on how to respond. And that breaking point, that decision of something's gonna happen here, we're gonna move forward together and it's gonna create some beautiful intimacy, this amazing experience, or it's going to end in nothing. Like, okay, cool, nothing's going to happen, which usually happens if you're not attractive, or if she has a boyfriend, she's in a relationship, she's having a terrible day, doesn't want to meet a guy. That's when that happens, right? Situations where she wouldn't want to move forward. But if she does move forward, there's going to be tension, and that creates even more attraction. So high tension is massively important. Now, there's a couple of statements you can use that are tension-creating statements, and I'm going to give you 3 of them. Statement number 1 is, I think you might actually be my type. I want to meet you. This is one of my favorite statements. It's like a really strong tension-building statement. I think you might be my type. I actually want to meet you. Think of the challenge here. It's saying, I think, I'm not sure, but I think you're my type. I want to meet you. You're calling out how you feel inside. You're being very logically open with her and very clear. But of course, if you look her in her eyes when you say it, if you speak slowly and deeply, she's going to respond to that positively, more tension. Number 2, another example of something you could say is, why do you look like my type? I love your cute little energy. I added in the word little just now. It's different from the notes, but that's the general energy I have. I love your cute little energy. Why do I think that you're my fucking type? Right? Another example is, hey, I like you. I know this is really random, but here I am. I think I like you. I think you might be my type. Right? That's another example of one of those tension-creating statements. And I'm sorry I dip my voice lower, but when I talk to women, I talk very calmly and very still. You see what I mean? How in the last slide, I talked about having a slow pace and deep relaxation. That's what this is. Whenever I talk to women, I have the slowest pace. I let my words drag on. I don't rush through it. I talk very slowly. Now, the other thing I want you to do is understand you have to challenge women, because this is not just about creating tension. Remember, the second part of this code, the 3 codes of connection, the 3 codes of dating mastery, of dating through high value, is challenging women. Okay, challenging women. The first thing you need to understand when it comes to challenging women is know common beliefs. Know what her common beliefs are, okay? And this is a really interesting thing. I'm giving you something, by the way, that I've only given to paid clients before. I've never talked about this in this depth in a live training. So this is some real shit. At any point, if you feel like I've earned your subscribe, press the red button. So here's how you challenge women. You have to know what a lot of common beliefs are, right? So I'll give you an example. If I go to a bar and I talk to a girl, let's say she's standing in the smoking area outside. Here in Europe, they always have the outside smoking area. And I think in the US, I haven't lived in the US for a while, but I remember they have the outside areas. Let's say I'm in the outside area. She's having a smoke. She's chilling, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to speak to her with the assumption that she holds certain beliefs about the world to be true. And I'm going to challenge her on those beliefs. Not like political beliefs, but beliefs that are related to dating and intimacy. So an example of this is, she may feel like men only want sex. That's a thing that a lot of women believe. Like guys only want one thing, which I think there is some truth to that to an extent because of biology, but not necessarily. I think we're all biological creatures at the end of the day, and I think evolution very much influences all of us in our patterns and our behaviors. So know the common beliefs. What are the common beliefs you may have? That guys only want sex. So if I know this, I'm going to interact with her and I'm going to challenge that. Maybe one thing, and I'll give more examples of what you could say. Maybe one thing I would say to her is, like in the middle of a conversation, I would say, what do you think I want from you? I would challenge her, right? Because now she has to give an answer to that. She has to give something that sounds interesting, that sounds witty, right? Or I would say, are you a good option in a relationship? Are you someone that's good to talk to? That's a challenge, right? That's a fucking challenge. She has to answer that question. The second thing, which I actually jumped the gun and talked about just now, is ask the right questions. Don't get too afraid to be uncomfortable. Don't be afraid to be uncomfortable. I'm telling you, many men make this mistake. They're so afraid to be out of their comfort zone when it comes to socializing. So they talk about, what are you doing for work? How's your life going? Oh, interesting. Okay, my cousin also does this. Like, that's not fucking interesting, man. Get uncomfortable with her. Talk about her views. Talk about her perspectives. Talk about your perspectives on the world. Talk about how you perceive people. Talk about how you perceive dating. Talk about your deepest desires. Tell her stories about girls you've dated. Talk about that kind of shit. Because when you do that, you challenge her and she has to respond to that challenge. She has to own that challenge, right? She has to interact with you from a place of, this man is taking me to depths and to conversations that I have never been in before, so I have to step up and be ready for them. Also, present alternative opinions. So when you challenge her, let's say you go back to this role play of, what do you think I want from you? So you look her in the eyes and you're like, what do you think I want from you? Why am I here speaking to you? You know I like you. What the fuck do you think I want from you? Okay, so you say that to her, and she says, well, guys definitely only want sex. Present an alternative opinion. What if I told you that when I was a child, when I was 18, 19, 20, even later, 21, the only thing I wanted was sex. But now I'm more picky with women, and now I kind of choose who I choose to give my time to. Okay, that's an alternate opinion now. You're shifting the narrative from, I'm the guy who's trying to get you, and I really want you. Please, can I have sex with you, to instead, no, I'm choosing you. And if I don't feel like I like you, I will not invest time in you. Right? How powerful is this? I want to give you some examples of challenging statements and questions. Here's an example of one. Do you feel more or less relaxed when new guys talk to you? That's a big one. Do you feel more or less relaxed when new guys speak to you? That's an example of a challenging statement. Another one is, are you more conservative or do you like living your life to the fullest? That's a really cool, challenging statement. Try some of these. I'm serious. Like everyone always asks me for lines. Like, give me the opening lines. And I'm always like, no, I don't have opening lines. I don't give openers. But I want you to try these. These are not opening lines only. These are lines for conversations, okay? So try some of these. Number 3, I feel like you're not as relaxed here as you could be. Honestly, I feel like you're not relaxed. I feel like you're very in your head. You're beautiful. You're cute. You seem fun. You have a good personality, but I don't think you're relaxed. Girls are going to be like, what? Why do you think that? Well, you tell me. Am I right or am I wrong? That's challenging. I want to tell you this. If this is hitting you right now, if these challenging statements, if you're like, fuck, I haven't thought about meeting women this way, or you have, but you've just been doing it wrong, let me know in the comments below. Everyone in this video who watches, in comments below, I'm going to give you free coaching. Like, I'm going to coach you in the comments completely for free. It's going to be me. I don't have a team. It's just me, and I'm going to give you free comment coaching. So explain to me how you're using these challenging statements, and are you challenging women? If you haven't been, why haven't you? What comes up for you when you think about this? Does it make you nervous? Does it make you feel like it's too much for you? Do you feel like you can do it and you're excited to try it? Let me know in the comments below, and I'm going to give you some free coaching on this, okay? Let's look at this. The next part of this is space. You have to create space. Women will not invest in you if you don't create space. Space is comprised of 2 things: physical stillness and a relaxed tone. This is how you create space with girls, and I put a bunch of space on the screen to demonstrate space, right? So space is physical stillness and a relaxed tone. So what this means is that as you interact with women, as you build relationships with women, you have to allow them to invest in you. And a lot of men don't do this. They don't give women space to invest. Guys are going and investing so much in women, so oftentimes, that they don't give the girl space to just come to him or to come to you. You don't give her that space. You have to give her space, right? So the part of the way that I give women space is by being physically still. Right? So when I speak to women, I'm very physically grounded. I'm not moving around a lot. I used to when I was younger, and actually there's old dating footage of me on YouTube. It's gone now. Eventually we're going to put up some more footage, like me going out and meeting women. But there's old footage of me on YouTube of me moving around a lot, of me like walking around, and like while I talk to girls, me like shifting a lot. And I look back at that and I cringe because, you know, I've been way better now with how I meet women, and I'm so still when I talk to women, and I give her space. Physical space or physical stillness doesn't mean you're like not moving at all like a statue, but it means that you're relaxed in your body. Right? It means that you lean back and that you're still when you talk to her. It means that you're not rushing through things. You're not rushing through your words. And that's the other part of this relaxed tone. How do you speak? Do you speak like with a hyper voice? Like, oh, really? Okay, that's cool. Yeah. That's all nice. I like that a lot. Oh my God. Or are you just like, oh, that's cool. You're cute. You're fun. I like you. I'd get to know you. You're interesting. I think you're my type. Is that how you talk? Relaxed tone. This creates space. It creates space for her to invest, because what you want is you want her to be physically moving, and you want her to have that tonality that's nervous and giggly. That's the feminine expression. The masculine expression is sitting still. Imagine any movie character who's like an attractive guy in a film, like someone like James Bond, right? I use this in all my videos, like the classic example of masculine, relaxation. Someone like James Bond. He's physically still. He's physically relaxed. Now, here's what I'll tell you. Going back to what we did before, going back full circle, there's these 3 codes of connection that you have to master if you're going to create conscious competence in dating. This is the journey to dating mastery, my friend. This is how you have high value dating and high value behavior when it comes to meeting women. You have to have tension. You've got to create tension in your interactions. You have to challenge her, and you have to create space. There must be these 3 things. And if there is not, your interactions will not be successful. Let me tell you that. They will not be successful. You have to have these 3 things: tension, challenge her, and create space. There's something that I teach called the 70% rule, okay? And this is really cool. 70% rule. If you want to start getting dating results, you have to get to 70% competence for a noticeable change. 50% competence is where most guys are at. Most of the guys I work at with his 50% competence, because someone who's like at 10%, 20%, I can't usually work with them. So that's not my target demographic of men I work with. I work with high-performing guys that are quite successful in life, but haven't transferred that success over to dating women, right? And I work with those men, and I get them to a place where dating becomes literally effortless for them, and women want these men just for who they are. And getting to that point, you have to get to 70% competence. Most men are stuck around 40 or 50% competence. The symptoms of this is where results are non-consistent or non-existent. And it seems as if things happen by accident. That's the number one symptom, is if you're at 50% competence. If it feels like your dating results and your lifestyle results happen as an accident, and it doesn't actually happen because you control it and make it happen and lead it in a certain path, that's 50% competence. It's where things happen by accident, dates feel irregular, you get a lot of flakes, girls canceling, and situations kind of don't make sense, if that makes sense. So things happen almost as if by accident. And I want to edit my notes because I don't think I wrote that the right way in the original. But what you want to do is you want to shift from 50% competence to 70% competence. 70% competence is this, where results are clearly explainable and are relatively easy to replicate. Relatively. There's more dates, there's quality options, and you live a fun and free lifestyle. That's where you want to get to. That's a fun place. 50% competence versus 70% competence. There's a world of difference. Even in my 3 metrics of what makes an attractive man, which is presentation, how you look, communication, how you share information, and leadership, which is how you create experiences, what do you want to do? You want to get to 7 out of 10 competence in each of those, 70%. Okay, so follow the 70% rule to grow. Don't forget that there's these 4 stages. You've got unconscious competence, conscious incompetence, which is where you have still inconsistency and minimal results, and then you get to a place where it's luck-based. So you are getting something because you are doing generally the right things, but there's no control over how you do them. You just like things fall into your lap and you don't know why, and this is not very sustainable. The highs and lows are crazy when you're in a place of unconscious competence. And finally, you have conscious competence, which is where you have consistent, fulfilling dating experiences, you have women chasing you, you become the buyer and no longer selling yourself, and your world just fucking explodes at this point. Here's how you rise in competency and build your dream dating lifestyle. And I'm going to make this really simple. I told you it's going to be no bullshit advice here. We're going to make this super fucking simple. Number 1, master the fucking code. Master the code. Master these 3 elements of dating success. Tension, challenge her, and create space. These 3 things must be mastered. If you don't master those things, you're going to be hitting your head against the wall, getting nothing. Another example, or another way to rise your competency and build your dream dating lifestyle is to start asking women the right questions. And I want to be clear, the reason why I wrote competency on this page is because this is not about just how to fuck more girls. This is not about how to get laid more. If that's what you want, like what I offer isn't for you. I do teach that, and it's a product, it's a part of what I teach, but the goal isn't that. The goal is to become the man who effortlessly attracts women, not the man who has to chase around girls like an old school fucking pickup artist trying to get laid. Instead, it's I have become the man that women desire, and as a product of that, bringing women into my life, whether it's short-term, very short-term, one night or a first date, or if it's long-term, dating a few cool girls, having a super amazing girlfriend, getting married in the future. If that's what you want, this is competency. That's what competency is. It's not, I got the quick result and the little hit of dopamine, ha ha ha, let me run out to the club and do it again after approaching 20 girls. You waste time, you're gonna become fucking broke, your sleep schedule's gonna get fucked. This is not about that, okay? So if you wanna rise in competency as a man and to go through the journey of dating mastery, you have to master the code, creating tension, space, things like that. And then you have to ask women the right questions, which means start getting into women's head. It sounds bad, but this is not, I'm not trying to turn you into like a bad thing here, but most guys just don't do this. You've got to ask women questions, find out how they think, find out why they make decisions, why they do certain things. This is what I want for all of you, my friends. So many guys go about their dating lives blind. They don't know women internally. They don't understand how women work. If you want to get better at understanding women, read the book, Why Women Have Sex, or it's called, I think, How Women Have Sex by Dr. David Buss. Super powerful book. I'm telling you, read that shit. Another example of or another thing you need to grasp in order to rise in competency is start making plans with strong intention. If you're not making plans with women with a strong intention, you will not rise in competency and you will not grow. You will not get better at dating. And another one, this is a big one, is think non-linearly. Most guys think in terms of linear progression. Okay, there's 1 step, there's 2 step, there's 3 step. I must go through all of these in order to get a result. Think non-linearly. There could be a girl that's super into you. You meet her and you just take her home immediately. There could be a girl you have to get to know over a long period of time and you guys end up having a beautiful experience together. But you can't think of dating as a linear thing. It's just not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have to be able to bring multiple parts together. Get to know a girl, lead a girl, slow down, speed up, challenge her, ask the right questions, pull back and be a simple, nice guy, go forward and be more dominant and assertive. That's what the dating journey looks like. It's really powerful when you master these things. So I hope you understand how this works and I hope you understand what it takes to actually create unbelievable dating results. Here's what I'm going to tell you, and here is what I always offer, and I think which is the fastest way to get results. Would you like to start attracting women within 90 days? Is that something where you're like, hell fucking yes. 90 days sounds like a good amount of time to start attracting new women without relying on fucking tricks and without relying on gimmicks, without doing all the pickup shit and without wasting lots of time. Okay, so if you want to do that, here's what I've got for you. It's called Lifestyle Mastery Consulting, and it's my program, and it's my complete dating mastery system. And I'm going to tell, I promise this, I'll promise you this, there is nothing like this on the market. You're not going to find anything like this in men's dating consulting, men's lifestyle consulting, self-development. You're not finding anything like this. It's the best thing out there because I've built it so I could compete against everyone else and be better than them. So here's what's going to happen when you're in Lifestyle Mastery Consulting, which is my consulting program. You're going to learn this simple, no BS system to start attracting women naturally. And this is not like a random system I came up with off the top of my head. I've tested it with over 100 clients. So I've used this exact system specifically on 100 clients, most of who got amazing results. And we have like the proof of that in the case studies. And they built this, and in this program, in consulting, you're going to build a brand new communication, leadership, and attraction style, right? Super powerful stuff. Now, number 2 we have is you're going to stay massively accountable to me specifically, to your specific goals with women and dating so that it's impossible for you to self-sabotage and fall behind. And then number 3, you're going to create a lifestyle that's designed around dating freedom and results in quality specifically. So it's not just like, oh, I picked up a bunch of girls, but it's quality, it's getting consistent results in freedom so that you can stop fucking selling yourself to women and trying and being the little guy who's like going for girls and instead become the buyer and say, this is what I have that I'm putting on the table. Which women are ready to fucking receive it, right? So you become the buyer and you have more choice and freedom in your dating life and how you connect with people, connect with women. You can also estimate that you'll get a result within 90 days. And these are, again, guys who have been through our system. You see Mustafa there. He went through the system that I'm sharing with you from Lifestyle Mastery Consulting, and he's dating a bunch of cool girls, went from being out of game for a while because of a relationship, went from not meeting women at all because of a relationship, and now is dating a bunch of really cool girls and has a main girl in his life. Kwesi as well joined live coaching with me and then learned our system as well. Boom, massive mind-blowing shift in terms of how he related to women. Austin got a super amazing girlfriend. Now they're dating long-term. That's his long-term partner. Super proud of him as well. Went from not meeting girls at all to meeting like lots of girls and then finding an amazing, really beautiful chick. And Joseph, you can see what he said. In just a weekend of beginning learning with me, learning my system, the first weekend, he learned way more than 4 weeks of an in-person program with another company, which I can't say for certain reasons, but he was on this very mainstream program that lasted for 4 weeks, and he learned more with me, very, very much more. Met a bunch of girls during that time period with me as well, and is diving in even more, learning our system still and getting better. So if you want to join this, here's what you're getting. If you think this is a good fit for you, Lifestyle Mastery Consulting, here's what you get. You get a year of one-to-one consulting with me. Simple as that. And it's crazy how much shit is packed into this. But you get a year of one-to-one consulting. You get a 90-day results target. So the goal is to get your results within 90 days, or else I'll literally work with you forever if you don't see results. And then you access my entire dating framework and process. So all the things I'm sharing with you here is a fraction. I'm not talking about like half. Like this is like 5%, 2%, 3%, some small number of what you're going to learn in Lifestyle Mastery Consulting. You also get your own tribe that I've created of high-performing accountability partners. So these are guys that are my clients, my former clients as well, who are coming in, people that are in my circle that are all very elite guys with meeting women, and they're going to be your accountability partners. Some of them are learning with me, and some of them are friends of mine who have been through my system and are very good with women. These guys are in our system, and they're going to be working with you to help you grow and to help you learn how to meet women way better, right? We're all going to be holding each other accountable here. So you're going to be in this tribe. And then you also get an 8-week communication mastery bootcamp, which is fucking crazy. It's every single thing you need to know about being a master communicator. You're also going to get my own personal dating reports, stuff that like the stories I hint at on YouTube, but I don't share them all because it's just, I can't share them because people would flag my channel if I shared them. You get the whole reports of these stories, complete with proof, with text screenshots of how I made it happen, complete with like certain pictures of like, proof of these things happening, and the complete breakdown of all the lessons of what was going on in my mind as I was going through these experiences. And there's something else called LMC Social Pass, which is where you have access to join all my life coaching programs during the duration of you being an LMC, which is fucking crazy, which means that you get to come on my programs for free as an honored guest because you are in Lifestyle Mastery Consulting. That's what it is. So if you think this is a good idea, and if you think this even sounds like something you could use to help improve your dating life and improve the way you connect with women and build your dream dating lifestyle and have fucking amazing women in your life beyond your wildest fucking dreams, and finally do it and stop wasting time and become a buyer and not a seller, apply. The link is below. Click one of them. I'm not going to tell you how to find the link. It's below this video in the description. If you can't find the link, you probably shouldn't be in the program. So if you think this is a good fit for you, or think it could be, we'll find out on a call. We're going to click a link, you apply, answer some questions so we can make sure you're a good fit and we can actually bring you into the program, and we'll do a small call. We'll take about half an hour where I'll ask you where you're at. We'll figure out your situation, and if it's a good fit, we'll get you onboarded and aim for you to have a 90-day window of getting results. Okay? Appreciate you, and I will see you on our next training, my friend.